Good morning, Fortniters. This is Jicky Seth, and we're gonna battle Royale with Storm. Holo foil Storm. Snap. We're gonna phone it in right now. We're working remotely. Here's Ramirez with the Storm over her head. I just watched the new Mutants movie last night. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. I used to have the comic books. They really portrayed the characters pretty well, I thought. The storyline was a little bit dark, but that's pretty good for the X-Men, isn't it? Alright, what are we going to do here in this match? We have the Week 3 XP Extravaganza challenges ahead of us. We've completed a few of them. I guess we got to take out some Stark robots here. So we're going to hit that Quinjet over there. I like when they do the X-Men movies. You gotta take a few moments to figure out which character is which character. Because they have their given name, and then they also have their superhero name. If that's what you want to call it. Maybe it's a code name. As I was watching the new Mutants movie, it took me a while to figure out that Illyana is actually magic. Because I haven't read those comic books in maybe 20 years. Had all of them though. Including the first one. Alright, we're going to come in here and grab this chest. See if there's something good inside. Yeah, a green SMG. That's one of the challenges for Week 3 XP Extravaganza. You have to get multiple damage with the SMG. And you could do it on Stark robots, henchmen, gorgers, gatherers, and players. So I'm going to use all these bullets right now. I'll make a bullet point of that. Alright. Let's get this guy. Let's talk about streaming services, shall we? I got rid of Netflix this last month. I had watched everything I wanted to watch on it. I have Amazon Prime, or Prime Video, whatever you want to call it. I also have AMC for a little bit, because I want to watch the Walking Dead shows as they come out. Especially Fear of the Walking Dead. And I heard Rick Grimes is coming back to the other one. The show's feeling a little CW to me. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching Flash and Arrow. It just got a little bit too teeny bopper for my taste. I digress. Alright, what do we got here? Venom, Smash, and Grab. That's new. That's awesome. I think that they added Groot and Venom superpowers on Thursday when they rolled out the Week 3 XP Extravaganza. So you could grab those at the Quinjets now. You have to get them from the Stark drones that are floating above. There's usually 4 of those. See if you can get there first before the other players. This should be fun. I haven't used Venom, Smash, and Grab in normal solos yet. I've only used them in the special games like Marvel Knockout and the other ones that I cannot remember right now. So who else played the Venom Cup? My son is looking forward to Venom coming in the item shop. Oh, check it out. That's awesome. The Holo foil cape. I played twice in the Venom Cup on Wednesday. I don't think I placed top 10,000 in either. There's some really good players on there. I have to say, I think I'm a better Rocket League player than Fortnite. I won my very first tournament last night. It's pretty exciting. I'm going to post that later, so please look forward to that. I think it's called the Octane Tournament. I wasn't expecting to get as far as I did. I think you got to play 4 games, and then when you're in the semifinals, it's the best of 3. And then the finals is the best of 3. So you'll see how that unfolds when I upload that later. It's a lot of video footage. I think I played like 7 or 8 games. I was very excited. It took about an hour and a half. Teams of 3 versus teams of 3. Alright, let's put my head back in this game now. I think we're done with this Quinjet site. We're going to move on, see if we could run into Wolverine. Another one of the challenges from week 3 XP Extravaganza is you have to harvest wood, brick, or metal. And you got to harvest a lot of it. There's 3 different tiers. I think I'm on the 2nd tier now. I've been harvesting so much, I'm starting to tear up. That's some bad humor first thing in the morning. That's okay, I am a dad, so I can tell dad jokes. I have a license to tell dad jokes. We're going to get these forged items here. I think I've completed those punch card challenges already. That was a secret XP Extravaganza challenge from week 2. They didn't list it, but you had to forge about 30 items last week. Alright, Wolverine, where are you? I want to see if I can get another superpower in my loadout here. As you can see, we're looking good in all this. So the final tier of the Search Chests challenge is you have to search 10 supply drops. I don't know if you guys noticed that when I looked at my map. I like to check my map a lot. I forget what challenges I have to do. So speaking of X-Men, I'm looking for Wolverine. I'm playing as Storm. I have not seen the Dark Phoenix movie yet. That was the latest X-Men movie that was in the theaters. I think it was like a year or 2 ago. I'll be honest, I've never been that interested in the Phoenix character. I'm more of a Wolverine fan. I like Colossus too. But I understand that Redbox has it now. Oh, that's right, we were talking about streaming services. I got sidetracked. So as we're looking for Wolverine, let's talk about streaming services. I got rid of Netflix. I have Amazon Prime Video, the AMC add-on. I'll probably keep that until the Walking Dead shows are done. It's a little bit expensive, but I really got to see Fear of the Walking Dead. And I just got rid of Hulu. That just ran out. And I just re-added Disney Plus so I could see The Mandalorian Season 2. And they've added a whole bunch of X-Men movies, which is really cool. They didn't have those before. We're kind of going through those. I want to see Apocalypse next. They also added X2, the first X-Men movie, the Wolverine movie. Sometimes when I think of Wolverine, it reminds me of the Wolverine Limited series, the 4 comic book series from the 80s. I had those, and then I sold those. Those are part of my first comic book collection. I had 3 different comic book collections. One I developed when I was a kid, and I kind of added to it when I was a teenager. And I sold that one in the early 90s, right before I moved back to Connecticut from California. And then when I moved back out in like 94, I collected tons of different comic books. I used to get them from cheap comics. Between me and my roommate Rivers, we collected every Marvel title. He had half, I had half, and then we would read each other's comics. So we were reading every new comic as it came out. That was pretty awesome. And I held on to all those comic books. And then in the early 2000s, I started collecting again. I was living in Hollywood, working in Burbank, and I would stop at House of Secrets. Oh, here's someone here. Jonesy. What's up, Jonesy? Sorry to take you out of the game so soon. I ended up selling all my comic books on eBay. I had some great collectibles too. Oh, someone's shooting me from the rear. I don't appreciate that. I had the huge Thanos action figure. This is before Thanos became a thing with the Marvel Avengers Endgame. This was back in the 90s when I bought it. I bought it from Golden Apple Comics on Melrose. My California friends, who remembers Golden Apple? They're one of the biggest comic book stores. They're really small now. They moved down the far end of Melrose. And that was about 20 years ago that I saw them last. They might be out of business. I hope not. I used to buy my comic books at Buried Under Paperbacks, I believe. It was in Manchester, Connecticut. This was when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. I used to get them at 7-Eleven too. And I used to get Spidey Super Stories in the mail. Because remember you could get comic books through the mail back in the 70s and 80s? You probably still can today. But that would eliminate the fun of going into a comic book store. Speaking of comic book stores, there is a really cool one, I cannot remember the name, in Canoga Park, California. And they shoot the footage for the Bat in the Sun videos there. I think when they do the narration before the superpower beatdowns, they're in that comic book store. Just go on YouTube, type in Bat in the Sun or superpower beatdown, and you guys could see what I'm talking about. Those superpower beatdowns are awesome. They haven't done one in a while. I know they've been working on a Batman movie, which is going to be off the chain. The director slash producer, I cannot remember his name either. I'm bad with names. I know faces, I just don't know names. But he plays the Joker, and he plays a fantastic Joker. I would check that out. Here's a question for you guys. Do you guys like when I just ramble on like this and talk about video games, comic books, wrestling, music, whatever? Or would you rather I just talk about the match as it's unfolding? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts and your feelings. Let's get this chest here. There's a giant teddy bear. I'd love to take that home for one of my kids. Reminds me of when I won a giant minion from Knott's Berry Farm. Oh, here's someone breaking in. Think not. Got him. Alright. That was an unexpected interruption. But I remember I won a giant minion. It's from the game where you throw the balls and you try and hit the targets. I think you have to hit 2 or 3 in a row. And somehow I did it. And I won a giant minion. My daughter Raina was either 4 or 5 years old at the time. And for the rest of the day, I had to walk around carrying this giant minion. It barely fit in our car. It's kind of funny. We kept it for many years, and then it got a little bit haggard. My son used to wrestle with it. I think he kind of beat it up. Ripped a lot of the stitching. So I just left it by one of those bins where they collect toys. I put it in front of the bin because it didn't fit in the bin. And as you're driving off, you could see this giant minion in front of a toy bin. Pretty funny. I love minions. Haven't been to Universal Studios in a while. Harry Potter Land is awesome. We got one of the wands. I think my wife bought Hermione. Am I pronouncing that incorrectly? We bought her magic wand. It's so cool. It interacts with all the stuff in the shop windows. It's like a show unto itself. I don't know if you guys saw my video in Roblox. They have a Universal Studios recreation there. It's pretty cool. I have a lot of different kind of videos on my channel. Just do some hunting. I set up a couple playlists on the main page so you guys can check that out. I have some Fortnite themed songs. I played FNAF. I want to come back to FNAF someday. I miss those games. I heard William Afton's looking for me. I should dress up as the purple guy and narrate those. FNAF 3. That's the scary one. All the nightmare characters are in that one. I'm telling you, they should do a Fortnite FNAF crossover. That could resurrect the FNAF franchise. You could open up like a chest or something, and out comes Freddy Fazbear. Alright, we're just running around here. There's someone in a choppa. There's only 5 players left here. And it looks like the action is going to end in Weeping Woods. And here's a strange thought. Isn't that where Wolverine patrols? So we could be running in with Wolverine at the end of the game. That would be pretty interesting. Maybe Wolverine gets the victory royale. Just you wait and see. I'm dropping a little teaser there. Reminds me of the Coconut teaser. That was a nightclub on Sunset Strip. They had to close down though years ago, unfortunately. I haven't been up to Sunset Strip in like a million years. Played all those clubs. Gazari's, which became the Key Club, which became Billboard Live. Or maybe I have that in reverse, I can't remember. The Roxy, On the Rocks, that's a little club that was upstairs. The Whiskey, we used to hang out at the Rainbow. There was the Viper Room, which used to be called the Central back in the day. Was that before Johnny Depp bought it? But the coolest thing, when my band AM Radio's album Radioactive came out, the record label, Elektra, they rented the billboard at Tower Video, which was right across from the Viper Room. So I could stand in line to go in the Viper Room, and there was a giant billboard of my band right across the street. And that thing was up for like a year. That was the craziest thing in the world, to have a giant billboard of your band on Sunset Strip. I took pictures of that. Maybe I'll show you guys a picture of that so you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so this game's winding down. There's still 5 players left, and possibly Wolverine. I'm going to play it safe up here, especially because I have a sniper rifle. If I had She-Hulk's fists, I'd just run in blindly. But I got a great vantage point. I'm in the Storm's Eye with Storm. Let's see how this unfolds here. I'm considering building a ramp up over the trees. That's always a good thing. Oh, someone just took the tree down. What's that all about? Someone just jumped way up in the air. Check this out. Looks like a player's fighting Wolverine at the very end of the game. And it looks like Wolverine won. So it's only me and one other player and possibly Wolverine. And it looks like Wolverine won the game. I'm going to celebrate your victory, Wolverine, with my special E mode. Well, that feels like a cheap win. I was hoping to be the one to take out the last player. Yeah, I'll take what I can get. Well, we're going to take a look at what really happened there. Alright, there's a Choppa. There's Ghost Rider. And there's Iron Man. And Ghost Rider has Iron Man's Unibeam, but Iron Man wins. And here comes Wolverine. And Wolverine takes out Iron Man, giving me the victory royale. That was a big Marvel finish. You got Wolverine, Iron Man, Ghost Rider, and I'm Storm. Very awesome. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and have a great Fortnite.